G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. How are we all doing on this fine evening? Man, I had a horrendous day of productivity. I was sleeping all day because I was absolutely railed. And because it's winter, by the time I finally decided to move and do anything, the sun had gone away. Woohoo! So that's the joys of riding around winter time. So we're doing a nighttime vloggy today for you ladies and gents. But without further ado, g'day. How are we all doing? My name is Nathan. I make videos on motorcycles. You guys seem to enjoy them, so I'm going to keep on doing them until I either get sick of them or you guys get sick of them. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic, because I do have one. And ladies and gents, that is, how do you go about picking your first motorcycle? Alright, now my previous video sort of got into this, but it was very focused on the Honda Rebel, alright? So this one is based on all motorcycles. So how do you pick your first motorcycle, period? There's a few factors that will come into play this video and for your decision, okay? Now, it's not just as simple as going out and picking something. I mean, there are certain people that can do that. Maybe you really just want to get on any bike. It doesn't matter what you get. In that case, happy days, alright? It's the easiest decision for you. You just want to get on a bike. And when you just want to get on a bike, it certainly makes this decision a little bit simpler, because then you just go, what can I afford? What should I buy? And I guess that's what I'm going to ride. You know what I mean? Whereas if you're a bit more like me and you sort of have somewhat of an idea what you sort of wanted to do, well, then that narrows down your decision greatly. So, do you want to just ride fast? Do you want to ride twisties? Do you want to tour? Do you want to adventure, off-road, commute? What is it that's drawing you to the motorcycle, alright? Because this changes things. A little bit of lane filtery business going on right here. It's all very tight and annoying around these parts. So, I thought I really wanted to be a real cruisery guy when I got into riding, which is fair enough, because I was happy to just cruise around and do all that stuff. But obviously, the more I ride, the more it's changed, and the more I like my sporty stuff. But now that I ride alone again, now it's gone sort of back to wanting to cruise more and more and more, which is fine, all right? There's nothing wrong with wanting to cruise, but it's just an example. Now, if you know you and your boys are going to go smacking up twisties, there's only really two options you sort of want to go for. And that's either a sports bike or a naked bike. If you're going to do more of your commuting as well as your twisties, I reckon a naked bike's better than a sports bike. Though you can definitely do it on a sports bike. There's no harm or no foul, you can do it, alright? But just know that it's probably better on a naked than on a sports bike. But I'm not going to stop you from trying, baby. God, I hate LED street lights. I miss the old tungsten globe ones, man. They were way better and prettier to look at. Now, if you're planning on doing more off-roading, do you want to go and get a dirt bike? That's a whole different thing entirely. Now, I am not versed in dirt bikes at all, but there are plenty of people both in the Discord and in the comment section that were willing to help you. If you want to ask people more questions, the link for the Discord invitation is in the description. Get in there, say g'day. Everyone's good and helpful in there, believe me, because even I've had help from people in there. It's a lovely group of people. We're growing over 200 and something members strong now, so can't complain. So dirt bikes are a whole different thing. Now, if you just want to do a bit of off-road trails and all that, and you still want to ride around a lot more around town, an adventure bike is great. Now, the learner adventure bikes aren't as big as some of the later adventure bikes, so there's not that many learner adventure bikes around, so your options are limited, yes, but there's a lot of good stuff that can come out of these smaller adventure bikes. The suspension travel is great. They're great for doing these little back roads, and you can go a little bit of graveling and whatnot. Now, if you do like that as well, you can even get a scrambler. Scramblers are great fun. Look into them. But the point of doing this is you find your niche of where you want to ride, or as Americans say, niche for some reason. You find your niche, all right? And when you find your niche, that opens you up to less and less bikes, which isn't a bad thing. I know it sounds worse because, well, why would you want to take options away? I can't see out of my visor anymore. So why would you want to limit your options? Believe me, it sounds worse than it is. When you have less options, you're forced to research the bikes in your niche far more thoroughly. And because you're doing that more, now you'll learn them more inside and out. Because, like, look, I know a vast array of bikes. I don't know much about adventure bikes, I'll give it that. I don't know much about dirt bikes, but everything else I'm pretty good with. When you're focusing on a specific area, let's take cruisers, for example, all right? So you want to focus on cruisers. With your learner cruisers, instead of going for Harleys and everything, yes, I know they have one, but that's what? It's kind of crappy. But what does it open you up to? You get to have, well, you can have your Yamaha Virago, your V-Stars, your Rebels, your Vulcans, and your street, 500s. There's not that many other ones. You can get the Spider, but they're not that great. But that's my point. There's not that many options now. But now you have a whole bunch of those ones, and you know exactly what you're sort of looking for in that demographic. Do you want a bike that leans over more? You get a Rebel. You want a more cruisery bike? You go for a Vulcan or a V. If you want a real traditional cruiser, you get a V-Star. And it's not a bad thing to have these limited options, because at the end of the day, you're still picking a very good bike. It's just more tailored to what you want. Whereas if you're just, I want a bike, so I'm going to go buy the first thing that pops up on the market, what that happens is, it just means that now, something's come up for $2,000, you got to buy it. It might be a scooter, it might be a cruiser, it might be a sports bike. You don't know, and you don't really know what you're going to be doing riding-wise. I swear my, yeah, my brakes were scraping that whole time. And because of this, listen, man, you might make a bad decision. And I know just because you want to get into riding, you want to just hop the best thing you can, but just pick a demographic of what you're looking for. It's imperative. Now, for me, I thought I wanted a bit more cruisery when I started. Then I started riding with people, and what happened is that now, I was like, I'm riding with people, I need a bit more of a naked bike. I need something with a bit more, you know, enjoyment, something with a bit more lean. But now that I ride alone again, I'm fine with getting another cruiser. It's not a bad thing. In fact, I actually kind of like the idea. I'm entertaining the thought of getting another cruiser, and I'm fine with that. Because how often do you see me ripping up twisties? I know I've done some pure sounds, but even then, I don't gun it through the twisties. I just enjoy myself through the twisty. And you know what? I'm A-okay with doing that. But I wouldn't have known this if I didn't pick my, ride a bit more. But I'm glad I started wanting to get into the cruiser scene, because I learned a lot more about the fundamentals. Because cruising is a very different style of riding than sending it around bends. You take things a little bit slower, but because the Rebel is such a hybrid bike, you give me the best of both worlds. So actually, if you guys are interested in a bit of both, cruising, commuting, and a bit of twisties, go for a Honda Rebel if you like your cruiser looks. But at least it gives you a bit of the best of both worlds, you know what I mean? But there are other bikes that do. The Kawasaki Eliminator is also on that list. Completely forgot about that bike. I've never given it a go. I've never really seen one besides at a dealership floor, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I've just never had the chance to interact with one, as it were. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure they're great bikes, but there will always be the Honda Rebel's clone, you know what I mean? Oh, man. Very, very, very dark around the good old Bocky Hill, man. This car in front of me, I don't get it. You go fast, you come in front of me, then you slow down. Make it make sense, brother. And I can't even change lanes. Oh well, I'm just going to go over here now. All I know is, ladies and gents, it is important to find yourself that niche and find a bit more. Like, it's good to be interested in all kinds of bikes, don't get me wrong. I love the idea of being interested in multiple bikes, but it's also good to get yourself into that state where you sort of, have a bit more of an idea of what kind of riding it is you want to do. I've decided to go down a side street I've never gone down in my life. It's going to get real dark very quickly because the lights are about to disappear. Because I don't want to head to the city too much, because then I'm going to have to come back and then, well, listen, man, I can't be bothered. Oh, big speed bump. Eey. Word of advice, ladies and gents, if you ride a bike with a bit stiff suspension, make sure you pee beforehand. I wonder where this is going to end up taking me, actually, because I am not totally certain, but I think if I turn right here, I think I know where I'm going. It's just, oh yeah, squeaky brakes, baby. Just how we like it. But don't be ashamed when you pick a demographic to ride in, man, because believe me, it's nice to have a niche and then just be like, oh, I kind of like this bike, kind of like this bike, etc., etc., because you never know what kind of riding you're really going to get interested in. This would explain the traffic, ladies and gentlemen. We've ended up in another land of bloody roadworks. God damn it, it's just everywhere lately. I don't understand why every street in Melbourne just happens to have roadworks. And you guys, if you like your angel numbers, there's 111 there and 666 there. Ah! Oh god, my visor's not even gonna get the chance to defrost. I might just go down the other side street to the left and just head back down that way, because I can't see. Ah! No, hell to that, man. We're not going that way. Where are these side streets gonna take us? I don't know. That's a no-through road, I'm guessing, so we're just going to go this way and see where the wind goes. I really drew the short straw with this area, man. Oh, roadworks everywhere, bloody hell, I'm sick and tired of it. So, if your friends are all riding a certain type of bike, man, that might be your first call to action about what bike you should buy. Because, look, you never know. You might start riding with them and not like it, but you might start riding and loving it. But because all your friends are riding a certain demographic, maybe that's a good starting point, because they already know what kind of riding they're doing, and you might end up loving it. You might not. Look, you might not end up liking it. Maybe it'd be worthwhile even going, if they're riding sports bikes, ride a naked bike. Then you get sort of the best of both worlds. But sometimes you got to dive in. Okay. Personally, I'm glad I went with what I went with, because it helped me figure out what kind of riding I enjoyed. And now, like I said, because I'm not riding with certain people, that also changes my mindset of the way I'm going to ride. But you never know these things until you start doing these things. And you know what? I'm fine with that. Okay? I'm fine with that. I think we can do a U-turn here at this crappy little intersection I've definitely been at before. Then I'm going to start heading back to normality. Well, that's annoying. Now I'm stuck at this light. Oh, I smell garlic. Why do I smell garlic? This is all dealerships here. What the hell? I'm free! Why does my bike keep misshifting today? What the hell? Oh. Thank you, car. You're gonna wait for me. Spooky, spooky. Woo! But ladies and gents, the basic thing is just try and really figure out what kind of riding you want to do. Try and do some research with your friends who do ride. And if you're riding on your own, I would recommend you pick something a little bit more neutral, unless you're die-hard set on something. So if you're planning on doing touring and big rides, a cruiser is definitely the move for you. If you're planning on doing a bit more attacking stuff and twisties, your naked bikes or your sports bikes are the way to go. If you're planning on commuting with a bit of with a bit of sporty fun on the weekends, then a naked bike is more up your alley. But you can also still do it on a sports bike, or you can go for a Honda Rebel, because these things are also very good for doing that stuff. But do find your niche and then do your research on the bikes that you could potentially enjoy, because I'm telling you, once you have your niche, your bike choices may be limited, but it makes it more exciting because that makes it more realistic. Sometimes having too much choice is a bad thing. And now if you limit yourself to only a fewer choices, now you go, well, this is what I can get. What do I like the most? And then you're like, now it's getting fun, because the dream of owning your motorcycle is becoming more of a reality. Whereas if you're looking at 70 motorcycles, well, the dream of your reality becomes just that. It stays as a dream. The dream of your reality, the reality of your situation remains a dream. That sounds better. But the point being is you want it to be more realistic. So sometimes limiting yourself opens the door for you to have more choice, all right? Because having too much choice is almost the same as having no choice at all, because you're just going to be sitting there scrolling through like Netflix. Whereas if you only have 5 bikes to choose from, well, there's only going to be one perfect bike out of those 5 for you. And if you can never truly settle on a fifth, like on a choice, well, then maybe that demographic isn't actually the best for you. And that is also completely okay, all right? Not everything needs to work out all the time. So sometimes you might find that your decision to be riding a certain type of bike isn't even the kind of bike you really want to settle on. And that's completely fine. Don't be angry. Just get excited, because that your journey is beginning, all right? And it's only ups from here. Well, thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gents. That is all I have time for. If you have any questions about new motorcycles or what you want to go for, leave them down below in the comment section, or join in the Discord and ask them there. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Otherwise, take it easy, keep it cheesy. You know I love you, but it's time to leave you. Peace. Bye.